Hey everyone, Dan here from GeekCast Radio doing another Marvel Refresh review as I continue my look at the Doctor Strange series, this time looking at Doctor Strange #2, written by Mark Waid and drawn by Jesus Saiz. If you checked out my last video, I talked about issue #1 and how I went into this series very apprehensive, just because I really enjoyed the voice that Donny Cates and Jason Aaron had for Doctor Strange that they established in their series, and I was just concerned that Mark Waid would go back to a more traditional route, that the idea of putting him in space, where that could lead. I just wasn't super excited for this. And after issue #1, I did like it. I did enjoy it. It exceeded my expectations of what I was expecting, but still I had some apprehensions, mainly because it felt like it was very much rehashing similar story that we just did with Doctor Strange looking for magic, trying to find magic again. I just felt that we were kind of backtracking with the character. I did like some of the approaches, some of the techniques, and this does pick up once again right after the end of issue #1, where Doctor Strange finds himself captive with this alien race. This alien race that really has apparently it's very arrogant alien race that doesn't bother, dealing with other galaxies or anything like that. They are learning from Doctor Strange, trying to see what they can take from him and his technology to forge their own technology. And once again, Mark Waid is utilizing that omniscient narrator to kind of explain the situation, get into the head of Doctor Strange. And what I find kind of intriguing elements that have been connecting with both issues is that there's this thread of Doctor Strange still longing for the past. We see him kind of, the past seems to have a hold of him within Mark Waid's run more so than it did in the previous series, where his idea of being a surgeon is still, in that being taken away from him, still seems to haunt him. There was instances last issue where he wouldn't drive because driving was the thing that took that away. And here he's again longing for the past, longing for even past relationships, being home, partially because he is in this other planet, but partially I think there's a little bit more there. There's still, I think there's this apprehension that he's going through and growing from because of, I guess, all the different events that are happening to him. So I'm intrigued to see like where that's coming from. If there's a reason where that this Doctor Strange is a little bit more high strung regarding like his past history. Again, like we're seeing him going with his more classic look, with the mustache and the white hair. He seemed by the end of Deception to be kind of back into his normal state, but something has knocked him back down a peg where, for whatever reason, he just seems to kind of have lost himself once again. But it does seem like this adventure has ignited a spark in one way more than, in some ways more than others. What's interesting about this issue too, and is that a new character debuts, and I like the idea of the new character, though it feels like it's a character that was like the ultimate, not MacGuffin, but the ultimate ability to solve every problem that they needed to solve at that very moment. Everything that Doctor Strange was kind of searching for, she kind of had an answer to. So it fit very nicely into the plot, creating this character. And Doctor Strange is looking for these magical elements. She kind of knows where some are, and she's able to help him. It just seems like, yeah, I get it for storytelling purposes, it helps speed things up, but it felt very convenient in a way. We don't get a huge, that much about the character. Seems to be a very much a do-gooder. I do like the design, kind of cold dreadlocks, kind of almost like cat-like, kind of. It's at least a unique look to the character. I don't know if she'll be continuing with the series throughout. If this will be kind of a character that kind of blows up, you never know when it comes to comics. I think there's some potential there, but when it came to just storytelling purposes, like the word like I mentioned is just it felt very convenient. But there might be more to that. Maybe she was planted there, or maybe she was seeking Strange out for other reasons. We do get some indication in the end that there were other foes, other powers per se, that are interested in Doctor Strange, and perhaps not very happy with what happens by the end of this book, as Doctor Strange is still trying to reclaim that magic. But overall, I thought this issue was good. I do enjoy the Jesus Saiz, the art. Like I mentioned, the character designs are pretty great. This world, even though much of this issue took place within a jail cell in a very confined space, it did look pretty well. It does have that painterly quality to it, but ultimately, like, nothing about it necessarily not wows me. It's done well, but not to the point where I am super excited about what's happening next. Again, there's a lot of potential here. There's elements here that I can see are built upon and will be better. But again, it just seems like after the second issue for the character of Doctor Strange for development purposes, like we're just kind of, treading water with it already. And that has me scared about where this could possibly go. We'll see. I'm going to probably continue with it for issue 3. Now, there's something I read or looked at or felt like was awful or bad or a huge mistake, minus some of my nitpicks that I mentioned, but it doesn't necessarily have that same kind of eventful feel that we got previously with Doctor Strange. So if for this being like, I could see this, if this was like a mini, it would almost feel a little bit better because you could see it kind of progressing. But if this was this being an ongoing, I feel like I need a little bit more, to be invested for the long haul. We'll see with I think issue 3 is going to be a huge defining factor. Now that we're off this alien, it seems like by the end of this issue, the adventure is finally beginning for real. Like the idea of being in space and going out for it, like this was just kind of these first 2 issues just really set the stage of what that's going to be like. All the people are in place now, and now we'll seek out all these crazy artifacts from across the galaxy, and we'll see how it goes, which it's intriguing because Thor has a similar storyline going on right now. We also have Black Panther in space. So I don't know if that's possibly leading to eventual crossover that Marvel loves to do. It may just be a coincidence, or they may have nothing to do with each other, but it's just interesting seeing how some of those different elements are kind of very, very close to being connected, and they could easily connect them in a way much more organically than a lot of actual crossovers happen. So it's kind of funny that that's occurring. But I'd be curious to see, for those people that are keeping up with Doctor Strange, your opinions. Do you like this approach? Are you a person that was reading it before and jumped on and to this, and are you some person that never read a Doctor Strange book and picked this up and enjoyed it? In the sense of, is this a good book for new readers? I think so. You don't really need to know anything else regarding what happened for the most part, and you'll be able to get everything you need from these first 2 issues. But if you're someone who wanted to see the same type of level of quality continue, you might be a little bit disappointed, at least with what we have so far. We'll see if it gets any better as it goes on. But that's it for me. If you want to listen to more of me or watch more of me, check out geekcastradio.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at Movie Revolt. But remember that comics are for everyone. The key is finding the right one. And until next time, thanks for watching.